Hello scholars, you are in the middle of packet number 3. Congratulations, you've gotten very far. You are almost done. I'm going to help you get through this page. This is page number 5, Roman numeral number 9. And I'm just going to read, if you would track your paper, I'm going to read the sentences that are here. You can also use fraction notation to express unit fractions. A fifth can be written as the fraction 1 over 5. The denominator represents what you're counting, or what the units you have are. So in this example, we would have fifths. We'd be counting fifths, and that's our denominator, 5. The numerator is the number of those units you have. And for this packet, we're always going to have one of them. And so we would say that we have one of something. What do we have one of? We have 1/5. Number of units we have is, the units that we have are fifths, and there's one of them. In these problems, we always have unit fractions, meaning the fraction is just the unit itself, a half, a fifth, or a third. This means the numerator will always be 1. This is similar to saying a foot, or a dollar, or a whale. In those cases, you have 1 foot, $1, or 1 whale. Alright, so saying a fifth is the same thing as saying 1/5, just like saying a foot is just like saying 1 foot. What I would like you to do is I would like you to try 1, 2, and 3 here, and then come back and watch the video. The directions tell you to write these as unit fractions first. So a fourth and a half. How would you write those as fractions? This isn't supposed to be eighths, just one of them, so an eighth. And then try 4 and 5 and see if you can get 4 and 5 by yourself. Go ahead and do that now and then come back to the video. Alright, if you have done this right, you have a fourth, and you have written that as 1 over 4. But our units are fourths, and we have one of them. An eighth, our units are eighths, and we have one of them. And a half, our units are halves, we have one of them, 1/2. Which of the fractions, this is number 4, which of the fractions on the left is the greatest? Which is the smallest? Write your answer in fraction notation. So which one of these, fourth, eighth, or half, is the greatest? And the greatest of these is a half. 1/2 is the greatest fraction, and the least is 1/8. 1/8 is the smallest fraction. Make a multiplicative comparison describing how many times larger the largest fraction is compared to the smallest. If you've done this right, you have that 1/2, and you could have it written like this, or in fraction notation like this, is 4 times greater than 1/8. So again, like this, or like that. Number 6 says, prove your answer to number 4 and 5 using rods. First, find the rod that can be split into fourths, eighths, and halves. Represent this using Cuisenaire rods, then label the correct color of the rows below. So the hint I'm going to give you is you want to start with the brown rod. Alright, and you are able to split the brown rod in half, in fourths, and in eighths. Alright, so you're going to be able to see the size of these fractions using the Cuisenaire rods. I want you to line up halves, fourths, and eighths below, and that should help you see how 1/2 is so much larger than 1/8. Go ahead and do that now and then come back. And we're back, and you should have a Cuisenaire rod setup that looks just like that. We have a brown rod, that is the hole. When we cut it in half, we have the purple rod. When we split it into fourths, these 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, are red. And finally, when we split it into eighths, we have 8 white rods. And going back to 1, 2, and 3 above, we can see that the purple rod, the half of the brown rod, is 4 times greater than the white rods. All right, so you can kind of see how much greater a half is compared to an eighth. It takes 4/8 in order to make a half. And this was the smallest unit, and that was the largest. Next, you're going to try the final page of this packet, questions 1 through 16 on the back of this. Please go ahead and do that now, and then check the key that you have. Go ahead.